Welcome to the Explainer. We've all had those teachers, right? The ones who completely changed our lives and, well, the ones who didn't. Today, we're going to dig into what really separates the great ones from the rest. Let's jump in.
So, this is the big question, isn't it? What's the secret sauce? It's not just about having a degree or knowing a subject inside and out. It's something much deeper, a fundamental difference in how they see their role and their mission. Let's break it down. Okay, so first things first, before we can even talk about a creative teacher, we need to get on the same page about what a teacher actually is. What's the basic job description? According to the source we're looking at, the definition is really structured. And notice those keywords: specific experiences, a specific time, and a specific place. This tells us that teaching isn't just a random chat. It's a very deliberate, professional process. And this image, well, it's the classic picture we all have in our heads, right? You've got a specific subject, a specific group of students, and a space that's all about learning. That structure is really the foundation of what we think of as formal teaching. What's really interesting is that sometimes the easiest way to understand what something is to first define what it's not. By drawing that line in the sand, the role of a professional teacher becomes so much clearer. And that's the key right there. There's a huge, huge difference between being a teacher and just being someone who talks to a group of people. Let's dig into what really sets them apart. So, here's the bottom line. A professional teacher's work is targeted and planned out. They're not just riffing on a general topic like how to be happy. They have a plan, clear goals for what their students should learn, and they actually know who they're talking to. It's totally systematic. And look, motivational speaking can be awesome, right? But it's just not the same thing. It doesn't have that specific structured goal. A teacher gives you the tools and the roadmap to learn a skill or understand a concept, not just a temporary boost of inspiration. All right, so we've mapped out the territory. We know the rules of the road for the profession. Now let's build our ideal, the creative teacher, the one who takes that structure and turns it into something truly special. See, they don't just dump information on you. They lead you on a journey. A really great teacher is this amazing mix of personal qualities that make you feel safe and ready to learn, and professional skills that make sure the learning actually sticks. Now, these personal qualities, they aren't just nice to haves. They're absolutely essential. I mean, enthusiasm is infectious, right? Empathy builds trust. And being a role model, that sets the tone for the entire classroom. These traits are what create that positive space where kids feel like they can actually succeed. And here's where the rubber meets the road. These are the skills in action. This is the how. How do they take a super complicated idea and make it simple? How do they get kids excited to learn? It's all about managing the room, getting everyone involved, and sparking that genuine fire for knowledge. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's put these two types of teachers side by side. This is where the difference between someone who's just doing a job and someone who's truly great becomes, well, crystal clear. Oh, I love this visual. It says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you have the conductor. They're in control, they're purposeful, they're making beautiful music. And on the other side, you have someone who just looks completely lost. These two images perfectly capture the difference in mindset and, of course, the difference in impact. It really all starts with the why. For the creative teacher, it's a mission. It's a calling. For the other, it's just a paycheck. And that one difference changes everything. The creative one holds themselves to a high standard, makes sure students are engaged, and, get this, they see feedback as a way to get better, not as a personal insult. And that difference in mindset, it shows up in their methods too. The creative teacher doesn't just give you facts. They share wisdom, their own experience. They have a plan. The other one, they're just winging it. And think about that point on mood. A true professional delivers a great class even on a bad day. That's consistency. And this right here, this is the real impact on students. And it is profound. One teacher builds you up, makes you believe in yourself. The other can just tear you down. One cares if you can actually use what you learned in the real world. For the other, the relationship is over the second the class ends. So, what's the end result of all this? One teacher makes learning an adventure, something you actually look forward to. The other makes it feel like a punishment. One understands that teaching is a craft, an art form that goes way beyond a piece of paper. The other just hides behind their qualifications. And that last line says it all.
Students seek out the great teachers. The others, they're just assigned to them. So when you see it all laid out like that, the contrast is pretty staggering. And it brings us to a really important question. Why does any of this matter? Why is this distinction so incredibly important?
And this quote, this is the big takeaway. It doesn't matter if you're teaching physics or pottery. It's about the mission. A creative teacher can take any subject and use it to inspire a student for the rest of their life. The other kind of teacher is just filling time until the bell rings. One builds futures, the other just fills a schedule.
And that's the thought I want to leave you with. Seriously, think about it. And this question, it's not just for people who are professional teachers. It's for managers, for parents, for coaches, for anyone who has a chance to guide someone else. The principles are exactly the same. So, which path are you going to take?